Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new session, online session of our interviews here. We want to get, of course, an update from Mogotes Metals, and Allen Sabet, the CEO, is here with us. Hey, good morning to Canada. How are you?
Good. Thanks, Jochen. How are you?
Super. All good. Thank you very much, Allen. Great to see you. And really happy that we can do now this update interview because you guys consolidated the Vicuña district and you signed an option on exploration claims, and they are now also located in Chile. So, hey, I understand that you fight it quite long for that, and this is a big milestone for the company, right?
Absolutely. This is a very important claim package for us. We've been working on it about 2 years. So when the company even just started, I'd started working on achieving an option over this ground. So it's super important for us. The reason it's important, if I may go there, I'm not sure if that's what you want, but it's so important because when you look at the metallogenic belt, the deposits in this district, they run north to south. So you start with Los Helados in the north. And as you come south, you get into Lunahuasi, the NGX minerals, main discovery. Then you come south again and you hit to the Filo del Sol, and it just runs north-south, bang, straight into our Filoser project. Now, the Argentina part of this north-south trend was with us and has been the project that we've been exploring so far. Now, there's an extension to the west that would have completed that projection of the Filo mineralized corridor or belt. And that's what we've optioned now. Okay, so a lot of the indications of mineralization that we've been seeing, the geophysical anomalies that we've been seeing, the alteration, the copper, gold in the rocks and the soils, they extend across into that very important key land package, which sits literally directly south of the Filo del Sol resource boundary and on the mirror image of us on the western side. We had talked a couple of months back where Filo had just released probably their last public disclosure of their drilling because their transaction, their sale to BHP just closed. And they released a drill hole very, very close to the southern boundary of their property. It was 610 meters at 0.39 grams per ton gold, 0.15% copper, and 2.2 grams silver. And in that, it's a very significant hole because that's, from what I can tell, one of the best mineralized intervals in the southern part of the Filo property. And it's kind of in a new geological terrain that's described in their press release, but basically opens up, and they're clear in their press release that this is open. This new discovery of kind of a more gold-rich porphyry is open to the south. So
meaning in your project?
Well,
then?
We'll have to find out, right? So the art of exploration is coming into play here, but we had a number of very positive data sets that were all pointing us in that direction. So we go through some of that in the press release. And so the summary is, look, we're really pleased to finally have this optioned. We're hitting the ground hard to start the work and really prove up what we suspect to be a very, very prospective piece of exploration ground.
Yeah, super. I mean, we both know geology and mineralization does not stop at project boundaries nor on country boundaries. So have you had a chance in former times to really walk over the project, at least which you have now on option, that you know, what you want to buy or where you want to drill then? Have you had a chance to really do some upfront homework that it makes sense that you do it?
In a sense, yes. We have to be careful because we have to respect the different property boundaries when we're not owners of it. But when you look at the Meseta prospect, our northernmost prospect, it's got a layer of buggy silica, which is a really interesting rock because of this terrain. Buggy silica often occurs in a high sulfidation epithermal setting, which is what you have at the Aurora zone, the high-grade zone over at Filo, in the northern part of Filo. And so we're seeing those rocks, and what we see there is that those rocks extend west into this claims package that we've optioned. We also get to see in our geophysics that hits right there at the border of Meseta, a very attractive, conductive body in the MT geophysics, as well as a very chargeable body in the IP geophysics. And what we can see based on the data we have is that it opens into the west, which is that ground package that we've optioned. Okay, so and the third data set is that we look at the satellite imagery we have a Worldview 3 commercial satellite imagery purchased, and we've analyzed it in a number of different spectra that tell us that alunite, which is one of the key kind of gold-bearing minerals that really helps us guide the exploration. You can see an abundance of alunite over at Lunahuasi and also at Filo, and then coming south into that particular option package, straight south into it, you got quite interesting alunite exposures in the satellite imagery. So we're itching to actually get down there and do some work, including, extensive reconnaissance mapping, sampling, and geophysics to kind of complete the picture. And that's something we've not been able to do so far. We've held back strategically to finish this acquisition or this option agreement so that we're able to then fully kind of proceed at some of these really attractive targets over at Meseta and Cumbre, which is directly south. So there's a lot of interesting indications, and we need to get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are the terms? I mean, I saw in the back of your press release a large, how can I say that? Yeah, for the option agreement, like what you have to pay cash, what stock, etc. And I got a little bit the impression that this is more in your favor because the cash payments are not that high, and you pay with stocks, which helps a lot because I think the money has to go now into the ground.
Yes, there is a lot of money in the ground. However, I would say that the deal is very much a win-win scenario. Mm-hmm. The benefit that we bring to the table here is significant exploration, understanding, our systematic approach to exploration, and that we have the adjoining project. So together, this forms a much more kind of, I would say, feasible project, right? Mm-hmm. In the sense that it can be wholly kind of explored as one package. So yes, the deal terms are kind of, for the signing of this option agreement, $150,000 and upfront shares in Mogotes Metals, mm-hmm. about 10.67 million shares in Mogotes, which is just under 5% of current. And then within 12 months, another payment, and that would be $100,000 cash and $500,000 in shares at the price in 12 months. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of arranged, and then there's another payment in 60 months. 60 months. So that gives us a lot more time for the next payment. That last payment is only $50,000 in cash and only $500,000 in shares. These are US dollars. And so what that means is that we can see significant progress. We can get significant data, and a lot of payments are deferred into this time when, ideally share price is higher and we have more information about the land package. Whereas upfront, what the way that we look at it is we're putting a lot of our dollars in the ground. We have to do $1 million US per year, but it gives us significant optionality here, and it's exposing us to kind of a part of the district that could be a standalone company. This could be a standalone company that would be exploring the southern projection of Filo, and it's now part of our company, for an upfront dilution of under 5% or approximately 5% of the company. And in a way that you could see this as a float on the stock exchange as its own.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, and I think also with CMP, I mean, that's not a small company, that's a larger company, which helps. So you get also like a new, solid stakeholder, right?
Yeah. And they're we're very, I would say, enthusiastic about working with a company like CMP. Everyone knows that permitting and running operations in country can be quite difficult, and it's one of the main questions that are addressed to mining CEOs. So, can you operate here? Have you got social license, and so on? CMP is a very important company in Chile. It's one of the leading players in high-grade iron ore products globally, and the 75% of the shareholder is CAP, which is a publicly listed Chilean industrial conglomerate. The other 25% is Mitsubishi, basically. Mm-hmm. And so these guys, they've been running operations in Chile. They're a fantastic partner to have, and they're committed to kind of exploring here and making a mark here as a major kind of mining project. So, so it's a good partner to have. I anticipate there are going to be benefits from working with someone like CMP in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, super. Yeah, that raises also the question, because you said you are now in Chile and you are in Argentina. So you have now to deal with two jurisdictions. Can CMP help also in Chile maybe a bit? Is it more difficult for you, let's say, to get drill permits, or can you still say, hey, that's one project? Okay, we are in two countries, but it's one project altogether. Or do you think this is a no-brainer?
There's a lot of questions in there, but let me just start by saying Filo del Sol is a deposit just sold to BHP. No issues with that. That deposit is bisected by the Chile-Argentina border. All right, so the precedent is there. It's not really a big deal. You can access from both sides, so we'll be able to access our Chilean projects from Chile and our Argentinian ground from Argentina. In addition, there's a framework that the countries have set up that governs projects that sit in that kind of border zone, and we're working on kind of being a party to that treaty, which will allow us to share resources across there. So that's something that's well advanced for us. So we're working forward and hoping to get access to that. In the meantime, kind of on a standalone basis, working in San Juan, Argentina, and working in that part of Chile is not foreseeable to have any issues, and permitting and all that should be quite smooth.
Okay, super. That's fantastic. Great. Yeah. So where do you see now your next immediate steps? What are the next big things you really want to do there? Because now you have it. Now it's ready to rumble, right?
Ready to rumble, and we've always got something up our sleeve. So I had some impatient people calling me, "What's going on?" And this obviously can't say it. And now that it's here, I think it's clear that there's some strategic elements at play here. So here, what we're going to do in this particular part of the project is we're going to try and complete the picture that we've gathered to date. With put boots on the ground. We've got very good geologists down there to take a look, sample map, and then do geophysics to complete the picture. And so that will allow us to pick the best sites for drilling. And so we proceed kind of in that fashion.
When do you think you can drill the first hole in there into the new claims?
Difficult to say. The work season here would kind of runs. We've had 1 year where it ran into June and 1 year where it ended mid-April. So basically in that window between now and let's say May, June, we've got time. We're kind of step by step here, running in to do the geophysics and the mapping and the sampling, and then we'll go from there into where the best place is to site a drill hole and so on.
Okay, good. Let's assume that you have further ongoing large success like Filo del Sol, which was now bought by BHP. So wouldn't it make sense for BHP to say, maybe we should go further in the south?
Well, this is obviously a very common question that we do receive. I can't speak for them. But logic would dictate that if a mining project of substantial size like Filo is going to be built, and if the team there and have openly acknowledged that the deposit is open, and i.e. it does not stop on the southern border, any success at the drill bit for us might be an attractive prospect. But this is something that we'll have to see how it plays out. Certainly, we've received interest from a number of parties, and we'll continue those conversations.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
If we look on your shareholder base, now you have another large shareholder you are adding. What was so far with your other larger stakeholders? How do they feel with that? Is that all fine?
I mean, when yes, all shareholders are supportive. I think the reaction has been fantastic. I think we're a company focused on the Vicuña district, on copper and gold exploration and discovery. And so something that adds so much to the potential of the company at relatively little, at risk, it's hard to argue against it. And it's quite I put it in the press release. I said this is a coup for us because this really makes Mogotes a serious player in that Vicuña district. And it means that, exploring into the future here, I think that the ground from what we've seen is gonna be interesting.
Definitely, yeah. Do you want to say maybe 2 words on silver and copper? I mean, we are all gold bulls, that is for sure, in a world which is having more and more debt and geopolitical insecurity. But silver and copper, those are, to me, 2 metals. Well, silver is in the 7th year of the deficit. Copper is moving into a deficit and has held up fantastically against any recession talks so far. What is your view on that?
I was going to say I'm not an economist, but I did study economics, so that's not technically true. But look, what I would say is very uncertain times, right? So in those times, hard assets are probably worth something, more than what they're worth now. So we've seen inflation and the kind of value of soft currencies really just erode significantly in the last decade, alongside the money printing. So gold and silver, of course, I think the prices have gone up modestly. I think they're probably poised to do more, but that's my speculation. I'd say copper and silver, on the other hand, they're no better conductors, and we're going to have significant changes to our industrial kind of capabilities in the next decades. We're going to need to increase power generation substantially. We're going to need to increase power transmission substantially. And I think we're only on the cusp of understanding what this data and AI trend is going to do to those demand drivers. So I won't pretend to know what they will do. But we know on the supply side, copper is very tight. And this is why a company like BHP buys a deposit like Filo's, right? Supply is tight. If they had found it themselves in their own discovery teams, they wouldn't be buying it for $4.5 billion price tag, right? So
Exactly.
on the silver story, we're actually blessed as well. Filo had quite a substantial silver discovery inside it. Tens and tens of meters of silver in a tabular kind of format, high grade in the Aurora zone. And something interesting that we started to see over at our project, we've got a place called Filo en Alunita. It's one of our prospects, and we had a very high grade as well too. Don't quote me on this, but around the 200, grams per ton silver mark, just one rock chip. But that zone is also seen exploration from us in this last few months. So interesting to see what that kind of yields in the sense of potentially more silver. But
Okay.
we'll announce in due course.
Super. Okay. That raises also the question, how does finances look? Meaning, can you do until the end of the drill season for this year? Can you finance it all what you want to do?
Yes, we're well financed, we're well capitalized, and we're very judicious on our expenditures. And this is what I was explaining, when we started our field program, started very carefully with, a program designed to increase the maximum amount of geological knowledge for the minimum amount of capital, so you're able to better target your drill holes. That's the way that we approach things. And that means that, yes, we have the money we need to work, and we'll have that into the kind of coming months.
Super. Fantastic. Then I have a very good feeling that we talk quite soon here, and I really look forward to some good results from you guys. Again, congratulations. As you said, it was a really cool, it really looks like. And I would say, please bring good drill results to the table, surprise us positively even more, and then we talk again. And see us latestly at the PDAC, I would say.
Yes. Looking forward to it, Jochen.
Super. Fantastic, Allen.
Right.
Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
You too. Take care.
You. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was Allen Sabet, the CEO of Mogotes Metals, and you heard it now from Argentina into Chile. They have done a real cool. They have this new claims optioned here over 1,300 hectares. In addition, now they have over 10,000 hectares here, and this is the direct follow-up to BHP Filo del Sol. Project here, which was taken over by BHP for $4.5 billion. So this is a fantastic, I would say, elephant hunting neighborhood here. And we need copper, we need silver, we love gold for sure. All those three metals are in it. And I really look forward to see those new drill results, which they hopefully will present very soon here to us then and really start everything. And I have a very good feeling that we will hear a lot from this company. You really should check out Mogotes Metals. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.